Hi everybody, it's me, Leo, currently. Okay, let's get started from last night's highlights from, well, highlights from the launch. Okay, housemates enter quick, and there were quick highlights before they show the rest of the night, with Christopher and Daniella's awkward hug. Okay, there are some fights that I want to see happen this series, and that's one of them is Christopher and Daniella. Christopher and Daniella's fight, I want to see. Tiffany thought Winston came in like she thought that Winston was actually a pimp because Winston had like the leopard print jacket and the Kegel hat thing going on. Darren and John enter the box and then decide whose suitcases get locked away in gallows style, as we know. Tiffany offered Daniella her clothes, which is nice. We finally got to see what's going on in the box. I wanted to see what was going on in the box during Live from the House, but we didn't get to see that. I think the first alliance was going to be Gemma, Tiffany, and Jonathan, but right now I think it's just Tiffany and Jonathan just being the first alliance. I think Tiffany is just trying to get Gemma close to her, like really close to her, just so she can know, bitch, we're enemies. Bitch, we're enemies, kind of thing. So, yeah. That's really why. While in the box, John and Darren talk about how they volunteered and how they could get revenge on the housemates. I wanted to know if Big Brother assigned the beds, because there were name tags attached to the beds, but I don't know if they were fully assigned, I think it was just for those in the box, though, really, they assigned the beds that way. Daniella realized she had camel toe during the highlights in the smoking area. Because Tiffany's like, girl, you have like some gaping hole over there. And she realized she had a camel toe. Stephanie thinks that the only hookup in the house will be with Megan and either with Scotty T or Jeremy. Because I thought Stephanie was single, but Stephanie said she had a boyfriend, so yeah. John and Darren wonder if the lights would stay on in the box all night. Because they were in there for a while. David and Angie, they were the eldest. They reminisce about their youth. David can still picture Angie together with her ex-husband. David reveals that he could have children, but that ship has well since passed. Even adoption, that's passed. Angie reveals that her son doesn't like her and that her ex-husband conditioned the son to not like her. I know, that's funny. Well, actually, that sounds kind of secret. And then Gemma gives Tiffany her secondhand a pair of Dolce & Gabbana shoes that Tiffany was just like, oh my god! I was just like, oh my god. Tiffany goes into the diary room and can't believe she got shoes from Gemma. She did call Gemma Jenna in the diary room, and Big Brother was like, it's Gemma. Sorry, it's Gemma. And then she was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry! Tiffany declared Gemma a friend to the end. I don't know. I think at this point she's just gonna say that just to make sure she gets along with everybody for the first week or so, and then after the first eviction, she's gonna be the HBIC still. She's gonna run the HBIC. Tiffany will teach Stephanie how to cook. Okay, that's nice. Daniella chose to put herself in the box. Christopher talks about Daniella in diary room. He felt awkward, but alright, seeing Daniella in the house, and decided to keep the past in the past for now. I'm waiting until that fight. I'm waiting for that fight. Gemma and Nancy with David. Nancy wants to know why Gemma got her name. And, like, where does Gemma come from? Stuff like that. And yeah, Gemma's like, my parents gave me that name when I was born. Winston's priorities are for the general UK poor as a politician, and that's what he says. David wants to show Winston in the show Winston the ghettos in the U.S. just because of how terrible they are. It's worse. In the garden, Jonathan decided to leave, go to the garden and talk with the people in the garden because he wasn't interested to listening to Winston. It bored him. I'm sorry. I think Jonathan's just gonna be the one bitch that's just, he's gonna be that one person that's just like, I'm bored. I'm bored. Like, you know, all the Kardashians are like, I'm bored. I'm so bored. I have all this money and we're so bored with all this money. And Jonathan's like, I'm so bored. I'm so bored. Darren talks to Danilella and John about bumping into a majority of his exes at a wedding while they were in the box. Megan wants to share a bed with Gemma instead of Scotty T. Gemma wants Megan to plunge forward and share a bed with Scotty. Gemma decided to share a bed with David, while Megan and Scotty T are in separate beds for the first night. Gemma was really trying to be matchmaker and say, she first goes up to Scotty T, is like, hey, Megan's into you. And then Gemma goes straight to Megan and says, hey, Scotty's into you. I know. Okay, Megan and Scotty unpack and compare how much their belongings cost. David is in the diary room. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. When David was in the diary room for the first time, I'm sorry, that lighting for him, for his skin is so terrible because it made it look like he was either sunburned or really drunk, like his whole fucking face was red and it was just hilarious. That diary room is not good for you. That lighting is not good for you. John asked Darren and Danilella about their sobriety and addiction diseases. And Danilella said that she started her addiction disease with cocaine! By around 3 p.m., all the housemates are getting ready for bed. Housemates got pajamas from Big Brother, while Gemma keeps playing matchmaker between Scotty T and Megan still. Time for a bit on the side! Okay, so there are some questions I wrote down. Will there be a romance between Megan and Scotty T? And then, when asked, when will the feud boil between Danilella and Christopher? The panel, Clovey from last series were on the panel with Nikki Graham, and Stevie says by day 5 the fighting will start between those two, and Chloe can't wait for the fight. I can't wait. And then I wrote down, will Tiffany and Gemma fight? Is John playing a game by being nice? And then they had Bots will do, I think every night that Bots is on, they're going to do a poll. And the poll of the night was, who do you not want to be stuck in a box with? In second place were both Tiffany and Christopher. And in first place was Winston. Okay. Nikki Graham thinks Winston would be first evicted, and Clovey agreed with her. There are some exclusives for day 2. Housemates in the box had a porridge breakfast, and they were all the same, and it was all cold. Gemma got breakfast in bed the first morning. I think somebody will keep waiting hand and foot for Gemma. Like, somebody will have Gemma's gonna be the one sitting in bed and be like, somebody get me something, you know. Scotty and Megan do get closer. Judy James, the psychologist, one of the psychologists that does commentary for Celebrity Big Brother and Big Brother UK. She talked about the role. She talked about some roles that the housemates will play. Tiffany would be the Wicked Queen because she's a great bitch and she's likable. She is a great bitch and she's a likable bitch. Gemma would be the damsel in distress. She's struggling with other personalities. And Tiffany could be her strongest enemy. Kristina is in personality rehab. And Kristina said that she'll be in the kitchen cooking and cleaning. But the kitchen's actually the strategic place to be in because because cooking and cleaning is like currency in these houses. Like, if you're in the Big Brother house in any country, any series, any version of it, if you're cooking and cleaning in the kitchen, that is fucking currency. Danielle's or Cinderella, she wasn't really happy where she ended up in the house. So, I don't know. John would be Prince Charming because he's easygoing with others. David Guest is the ringmaster. He worked the room. He worked the room. He took ownership of the room. He came in the room and he owned the room. Scotty T is the house clown because he's unintentionally funny. Hello, he's from Geordie Shore. Winston is our potential villain, and his villainry would be like a revolving door. Like, he'll be a villain, and then it'll pause, and then it'll go again, and then yeah. And then a couple more exclusives where that Danilella, John, and Darren get to go out of the box by day 2. Gemma is playing Matchmaker still. Winston fancies Nancy. Nancy and Winston will... I do not want Nancy and Winston to be the new Chloe. I really don't. Because I think Nancy's way too far to the left. Way too far to the left. Way too far to the left. And Winston's probably way too far to the right. Even though it says Democrat, he's part of the Democrat Party. But I mean, like, you're way too far to the right if you're saying homophobic shit. And then my last question I thought was, what gender will dominate the house this series? Men or women? Because we've always had women dominated houses recently in Celebrity Big Brother. So, yeah. Okay, so, stay tuned for either later on today or tomorrow morning or tomorrow night. Oh, wait, I did forget to tell you. I know who's... Okay, I know this is... I should be revealing this, like, later on, like the first of... Like, the first people nominated for eviction, but, hey, I'm gonna give you some spoilers. Even though you've probably already seen it if you're in the UK. First up for eviction... The first 3 for eviction on Friday, which is tomorrow, are Winston, Nancy, and Kristina. I'll tell you reasons why and stuff tomorrow if you're in America and you want to do an after show after the after show. Sorry. But definitely stay tuned. Keep that hashtag LCCBB. And I'll see ya.